So welcome everyone to the closing session of our KICS Education Policy and Innovation Conference. This will be a very practical closing session, and I will start now by giving the floor to our director, Professor Gita Stano-Ramsey, director of both the KICS EAP Hub and NORAC. So please, Gita.
Yes, thank you so much, Jose Luis. Dear colleagues and researchers and policy analysts and policymakers, it's a great pleasure to be given the floor to thank you all. Many of you participated more than once. It was a conference spread out over 4 times. We think this was quite unique, this conference, because it was not on teacher education, it was not on educational studies, it was not highly academic. It was really on education policy studies. And the reason why KICS EAP is doing this is because we really think school reforms in our region and in general should be informed by research and data and evidence and less on only political decisions. So we think this was a great start in the right direction, and we hope that this will become a new field where researchers and government officials and civil society and teacher associations join hands to figure out what works, what should happen, what did not work, what should be discontinued. And we think this was amazing that this took place. We can tell from the numbers that it was a big success. We had to upgrade the Zoom room. We had over 1,000 registrations. So it was unbelievable how this really resonated in the region, and we had many colleagues from outside the region participate in this event. For us, it was also a little bit of an experiment, because first we started with this region that is close to our heart, to the Central European, Caucasus, Eastern European region, but we will have other regional conferences in South Asia and other locations. So we are learning the lessons as we are going along. Let me just say a few words of thank you to colleagues within NORAC and our partners that really helped that make this happen. And of course, first and foremost, to the 2 main persons who ran the show, which is our hub manager, Jose Luis Canellas, who is the hub manager for KICS EAP, and Julia Levin, who is the lead for this region and actually the head of the conference for the EPIC conference. Then we have wonderful colleagues at NORAC that helped support the event, and I'm just listing them: Marina Dreux-Frotté, Roy Kipken, Annika Harish, but also Natalia, who helped with translation and all of this. Then, not equally important are, of course, Ulriya Mikhailova and Darkhan Bilyalov. They were part of the program committee that advised us on content and on abstracts. And this is just to say this would have not been possible without the help of all these different colleagues, that every one of them pulled their weight for this conference. Let me pass the floor to Jose Luis and Julia Levin, who will also tell you about the next steps. Please. And yeah. Sorry, I forgot to mention 2 colleagues that are actually very, very important. One is Paul Gerhardt. He is our communications officer at NORAC. Without him, nothing would have worked, because he made sure that there are no technological glitches, and he kept sending out messages about the event. And also Veronica, who really helped, especially Julia, with everything that was regarding Russian. So both of them, many, many thanks. Please.
Please, thank you so much. Julia, please.
Thank you very much, Gita, for your warm words. Thank you very much to all our colleagues who participated in this conference. And we are already, we're looking back on these 4 weeks with interesting lectures inspirational speeches. We, as the organizers of the first KICS conference, want to gather all the knowledge from the region that we are mobilizing, and we want to also consolidate the cooperation that has been established between experts from different countries. And we will gather in December all the experts who have shared their experience and research here. We will also publish the theses, the abstracts of all the presentations from this conference. We've also made video recordings of all of these presentations, and we'll publish them in Russian and English. Also, today, I have the honor of announcing that for each day of this conference, we will give an award to one researcher for each day of the conference for their contribution to the conference. And before now the conference committee has the difficult task of choosing the best works, and the winners will be announced in November. And we haven't decided we won't announce the prize today, but we will announce it later. And finally, in conclusion, you have the chance to obtain a certificate. If you would like a certificate, please write us a letter. Indicate the day and the session which you participated in, and we will provide a certificate. And now the conference is wrapping up, but our work in KICS is not over. You can expect this year and next year interesting events that you can all participate in. And with this, I would like to give the floor to my dear colleague, Jose Luis, the manager of KICS.
Okay. Thank you so much, Julia. And I have to mention also someone part of our team, which was very important in setting the vision and guiding us in the right track in terms of what the conference should be, which is our director, Professor Gita Steiner-Ramsey, who was always guiding us, making sure that we were on the right track. So a very short point to close the closing session of our first KICS EPIC. You all have noticed the EPIC acronym, which is short for Education Policy and Innovation Conference. And you might have asked during the conference, what was EPIC? And for us, we are not claiming that the conference was epic, but we are claiming that for sure the support we got to the KICS AP Hub, to the conference, the support we get from the International Development Research Center in Canada that leads the implementation of the KICS program, the support we get from Global Partnership for Education, which makes the KICS initiative possible in its greater mission of mobilizing and transforming education systems in GP partner countries. And also the EPIC support we got from our 34 conference partners. And here I ask Paul in the back end to share the link to all the list of the partners, institutions that are supporting our conference. We also have to acknowledge the keynote speakers, Margarita Focas-List from GPE, Val Sentir Mendes from UNESCO, Susanna Millet from Tampere University, Isaac Frumin from Higher School of Economics, and today, Freda Holfendam from Open University UK. Also, our session shares all presenters, including national researchers, policymakers, learning cycle teams, KICS grantees, international organizations, etc. And of course, our participants. It was our participants who made the 4 days conference a lively platform for a dialogue that bridged policy, research, and practice. So, in a nutshell, what is EPIC in our KICS AP is the will of our national teams, the will of our country representatives to work hard in their own contexts, sometimes in very challenging situations, to improve their national education systems. And our team here is willing to learn on how to support you best and respond to your demands. So as you want to learn more, we also want you to please fill out the post-conference survey, which the link will be in the chat soon. and to please contact us and contact our country's national coordinators with suggestions on future thematic priorities for our webinars, for our learning cycles, workshops, podcasts. Our podcast host is here today, and he made also an effort to have 2 special episodes of the podcasts focused on the conference, and also other peer exchange activities. So please tell us the focus of our activities. And this is how we came out to the focus of these 4 days of conference. These were 4 priorities that were identified in our regional thematic priorities reports. So we are responding to the demands. And in this journey, our next stop is already next week. So I'll ask for sharing of upcoming activities, which will be our 8th. So if you could share the screen, Paul. Okay, but the next activity is our 8th KICS-EP podcast, where our KICS steering committee member from PNG, from Papua New Guinea, Dr. Kilala Che, will share her experience and make a reflection on the progress and challenges of PNG, with a special focus on language learning and literacy development. Then we have the week after this, the podcast is going out on Wednesday. Then the week after, on Thursday, November 11 at 1 p.m. Geneva, we have our 10th webinar in partnership with UNICEF and the GPE Belts Initiative. The webinar will focus on a tool that has been introduced on how to scale and to introduce early childhood education into the systems in education. It's called the webinar is called Tools for Transformation, Advancing Early Learning through the ECE Accelerator Toolkit. We will have the sharing of country experiences from Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, and Sierra Leone. So please register, the links are in the chat. And then we invite you, everyone, please register to our alerts to be the first ones to be informed about our activities and to have direct access to our resources. So our journey does not stop here. It is just starting. Thank you. See you all soon. Thank you so much.